No, it's 8:30. Does anyone need to run to the bathroom really quick? And then this will take me about 15 minutes for you all. Does anybody need a bathroom break real quick? Okay, we'll just get right into it. All right, real quick, how many first-time competitors do we have in here? It's okay to raise your hand, you're not going to get it. Okay, just one? Okay, how many have only done one show before? Okay. And what I'm going to give you here is, if you turn back to the first page, that's just information about Team Gorman. I own Team Gorman with Leslie Franklin. I'm a contest prep coach, Team Gorman Physique Transformations. Very happy to be here, and hopefully what I give you here will help you right after your show. Like Cliff said, set you up for success for your next show if you want to continue to compete, but also to help restore your hormone levels from a harsh prep, keep your body fat low, to avoid the depression that comes from binge eating, so on and so forth. So I know there's a few of us in here. I'm definitely one that this happened to before at my earlier shows, like in 2008, 2009, where you diet really hard for a set amount of weeks, maybe 20 weeks, and you lose 30 or 40 pounds, and then after the show you blow up and you gain 20 pounds right off the bat within the first couple weeks because you eat everything in sight. That's the norm. That's what happens almost after every single show. You feel like crap. You're holding water everywhere and body fat. And I want to show you how to avoid that. So if you look on your sheet on the third page, you'll see weeks 1 through 8. If you want to go ahead and get ready there, I'll touch on some things. Here's what happens after a show. Okay, here's why this happens. You diet for whatever, 12, 20 weeks, what have you. Most of us have gone without a cheat meal that long. You're mentally strong. You get all the way through prep. Your metabolism is just a bit lower because your body fat's down. You're used to lower calories. You haven't had a cheat meal, and the next thing you know, the day after the show comes or the night after the show comes, and you go out and you eat with your family and friends. We all do. You go eat pizza and ice cream and IHOP, maybe all of it in one night. And Sunday rolls around. You have a good breakfast at the hotel, waffles with peanut butter all over everything. You're on the way home, you stop at the gas station, you see donuts and a hot dog, maybe some more peanut butter on everything, and it happens. The next thing you know is Monday morning you wake up and you look terrible. A lot of it's water, and then your body fat's starting to accumulate. That's what happens after the show. The reason why that happens is because I think it's 99% mental. You've prepped your brain to be used to not having a cheat meal. One of the things your brain wants the most is, we've all grown up, you eat sweets and stuff whenever you want as a kid, things like that nature at school, so we've been prepped that way to be able to enjoy food if we want. Well, you restrict yourself mentally. There's going to be a mental rebound, not just a physical rebound after your show. And I don't care what anyone says, your friends will look at you and they'll be cynical and they'll think, yeah, you gained weight, we all knew you would. It's going to happen if you don't mentally set yourself up with a reverse diet. So that's what happens. It's, most people get depressed. Don't feel bad, because you can't control your brain most of the time. Your brain will take over. Your arm will be a separate part of your body, I swear. It'll be shoving stuff in your mouth, and you'll be looking at it thinking, why will you not listen to me? Seriously, you'll see, it happens. That's why people will cheat. Some people cheat during their prep. It happens. I'm going to say 97% of the clients that I have, I love them to death, there's cheating in there. I know there is. It's because it's your brain. The brain will take over. So what reverse dieting is, it's reverse dieting. It's dieting in reverse. So if you prep for 20 weeks and you get your body fat down and your calories down slowly, and you get down from 150 pounds to 115, for example, you've dieted down. Now you're going to reverse back up. Pyramid dieting, reverse dieting. What it'll do for you is it will help keep you leaner after your show, because we all want to maintain a nice, decent, lean look. You're not going to be stage ready for most of us. You're not the norm in here posing. Most of us aren't going to be able to maintain that type of body fat as hard as we're going to try. But this is going to help keep you leaner. It's going to build your strength back up, fill your muscles back out, and you're going to rapidly gain more muscle in the next 8 weeks after your show than you can if you train hard for 8 months if you were this off season. So the other thing, and this is key, it's going to fix your metabolism. Metabolism could be in the crapper. I know there's people in here, it is right now. It is. I just know from prepping people. You're used to 1,000 calories a day. So you have to prep your metabolism, get it back up so it can start handling a larger amount of food. So that's what it's going to do. And then all of this sets you up for your next show. You know, you see the Terry McBees and the Philip Ricardo Jr.'s and some of the best athletes in our sport, and you wonder, how the heck are they doing this year after year after year when I'm struggling to do 1 to 2 shows? That's because they do this. This, and prep coaches, we do this with our clients. Everyone reverse diets after a show and they set themselves up for the next show. That's how you do it. The way you look at your next show will depend on what you do when you step off stage and when you start putting food in your body. That's what depends on how you look. You know, Leslie, bless her heart, and myself as well, back in the day, we would gain a lot of body fat fast before we fix our metabolism. So next thing we know, our metabolism's still slow, but we're 20 pounds of fat up. Now we have to figure out, how do we get our metabolism up without adding body fat? It just creates a vicious cycle. So then you're trying to diet in the off season, and you're trying to yo-yo diet, and all those things. That's what 99% of competitors go through. It's the 1%, the upper tier athletes that do this. This is going to help you approach preps like the upper tier athletes do. Okay, so everyone's on their page. This is a generic way to do it. Everyone's a little bit different. You might have to tweak this for yourself, but this will give you a good base to go off of. So if everyone sees week 1, first of all, here's what you should do right after your show. I think everyone should have a meal after their show if that's what they're planning. If you don't have any more shows, you've got a show in a week, so you're going to be eating clean. Everyone else should go out and eat with your family and celebrate. You know, it doesn't have to be about the food, but you should celebrate and have some food Saturday night. What I tell my clients is have a meal Saturday night. Get up Sunday morning, have a meal. Don't eat until you're stuffed sick, but have a meal. If you want to have another meal on the way home, have something. But then when Monday comes, you need to get right back on your diet. And which diet? It's the diet that you had leading into your show. Start back on that diet and then go back to the cardio that you were doing. So what you're going to do is on Monday, you're going to go back to your regular training day and off day diet. Okay? Keep your water high. Then you're going to take your cardio and you're going to cut that back by 10 minutes each session. So, you know, most of our clients, we don't have them go above 30 minutes twice a day. We try to max it out of that. So maybe you start at 20 and 20 that next week. So what you have to do is start pulling your cardio back, but you have to start adding calories in on the second week. So first week will be off day diet, training day diet that you're used to. Pull your cardio back 10 minutes. Okay? For most guys, I recommend adding in 20 grams of carbs for your day. And that's it. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to boost your metabolism without putting fat on it. For ladies, I usually recommend about 10 grams of carbs. 5 to 10, it really just depends on who you are. But 10 grams of carbs and 20 grams, 25 grams of carbs for guys. So if you look on week 1, add 20 carbs, cardio pull from 30 minutes twice a day to 20 minutes twice a day. Week 2 rolls around. You're going to add another 20 carbs. You want to keep an eye on the mirror. If you do this perfect and you're not out binge eating and eating things of that nature during the week, your weight is probably going to be back down, and a lot of the time the cheat meal that you have right after the show is going to speed your metabolism up. A lot of people are leaner that we prep. You know, we'll see it on Saturday. They're leaner than they were at the show. So you want to keep an eye on the mirror. As long as you're not binge eating, it's time to add in more carbs on week 2. So if you're a guy, you add in another 20, then you move your cardio down to just 30 minutes once a day. See how we're adding carbs in, we're slowly backing cardio off. One thing too I want to touch on real quick, and I won't get into details on how to do it, but the way I prep people all through prep is I have them do either a refeed, a big refeed with Pop-Tarts, pancakes, things of that nature, or I have them have a cheat meal. 1, it protects their metabolism. They don't have to worry about stalling metabolism out. 2, I don't have to worry about mentally rebounding as bad right after a show. Plus, as a side bonus, it's nice to be able to prep and have that stuff once a week. So we do that with all of our clients. If you haven't been doing that, at the end of the first week, after the week after your show, that next weekend, I would start adding in the refeed or the cheat meal here. Why? Because you're going to be back down depleted again. You need to have your metabolism going. So I would add it in, 1 week after your show. There's a link on one of these pages. It's on the page before, and it's an article I wrote on how to do refeeds. It's how to eat a large amount of carbs around your training to be able to keep your metabolism up, but also to keep your weak body parts up. What I would suggest doing is placing 2 weak body parts around your refeed. So say you're going to refeed on a Sunday, and your back and your legs are your weak body part. Train your back, then go home and do your refeed, and then on Monday train your legs. You want your 2 weakest body parts around your highest calories of the week. That's the way that I have people bring up their weak body parts in the off season, is through higher calories. So just real quick on the refeeds. Back to week 3. Week 3, if your fats are low, you might need to start adding in a little bit of fats. Like Cliff said earlier, most of the time it's ladies because their fats can get down a little bit lower than guys. But maybe this time you add 15 carbs and 5 fats. Sometimes I'll have ladies add 10 carbs, 5 fats, or 5 carbs and 5 fats. You just have to play with it. But notice the big thing here, cardio move to 20 minutes once a day. You have to constantly get that cardio down. You can't keep doing long cardio sessions of cardio every single day. Your body becomes used to it. Okay, same thing, so on and so forth, all the way from week 4 down to week 7 and 8. If you notice, week 6, your cardio is now actually down to 20 minutes, 4 days a week. That's usually what I recommend, 3 to 4 days a week in the off season, just to help keep your appetite going and to help keep you somewhat lean. Because let's face it, it's off season, you're going to go out and you're going to eat some food with your family. You should, because mentally that's healthy. The cardio will at least help keep your metabolism going, your appetite going, and help keep you somewhat lean. But that's what I would recommend for the cardio, is about 20 minutes, 3-4 days a week. Okay. This will last for about 8 weeks. Then at that point, you have to really start to become careful, because the paragraph below, here's an example of a guy. I just got done reverse dieting someone perfectly. He did it perfect. Right after a show, he went from 200 carbs to 335 carbs after the show. Now I can tell you right now, if he would have went from 200 straight to 335, he would have been fat. His metabolism couldn't handle that much at once. He built it up. He still has abs. He still looks really good, beach ready. His fat went up from 45 a day to 55. Total, his calories went from about 2,100 to about 2,700, and he did it the right way. Now his body's used to 2,700 calories. Now next time he starts prep, he'll be starting from a higher caloric intake, and he'll be able to diet a lot easier. That's how these top level guys are doing it every single week. They're not trying to outrun low calories and play with everything. This is how they're doing it. So. Okay, we talked about refeeds. There is a special place in here for keto dieting. I know Cliff and Brian then said keep your carbs high. Look, that's fine. I really respect that. I have people that have to diet high carb, moderate carb cycle. Some people I have to take keto. Why? Because that's what they have to do. It's just that's in their plan. When they come to me, there's only a certain place I can take them from A to B. Sometimes it's cardio. The way we do it, and John's a keto guy as well, there is ways to do keto for a certain amount of times that can really, it can play a role and get you leaner in the right situation. So if you were keto, here's what I like to do to reverse diet people out of keto. I like to start adding carbs around their workout, because that's when your body can handle the carbs the best. So usually I start with pre and post-workout carbs. Something like maybe a protein shake and a banana an hour before you work out seems to sit well with people. Post-workout, you have protein and carbs, things of that nature. There is a pre-intra and post-workout protocol I just wrote. It's on my website if you guys want to check that out. But with keto, you've got to slowly add carbs back in, because your body's used to having fats for fuel. So if your pre-workout meal was a protein-fat meal, what I would do is I wouldn't just add carbs to the protein-fat meal. I would replace your fats with carbs. So if you had 15 fats, maybe you want to replace that with the same amount of calories with carbs. That way your insulin sensitivity can start catching up, and you can get used to having carbs in there. And then once that happens, then you start reverse dieting just like we laid out. I just keep most of the carbs at first around the workouts. Okay?
That's the same for if you're coming out without coming out keto, and you're adding carbs in, you keep going right. Always.
So if you're not keto and you do have carbs, would I add them around the workout first? It depends on what you've already had around the workout. So whenever I diet somewhere, if I do get them down a little bit lower carb, I leave the carbs. I have them take pre, intra, and post-workout carbs. I leave that, and I take the carbs throughout the day away, because that's when they don't need them the most, in my opinion. So yeah, I would start adding in, if you already had them pre, intra, and post, I'd start adding in at the other meals away. If you haven't had them pre-intra and post, I would start the pre-intra and post-workout protocol. I've just seen great results from it. People like it. Strength goes up. Oh my God.
I did this protocol basically. I did it after a little while later. I'm at like 575 carbs right now.
Yeah.
You gotta get really creative on where to add.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Once your carbs start getting that high,
So full until I've gained like 3 pounds.
yeah, because you did it right, your metabolism is through the roof. Here's the other key to that. You can go have a cheat meal, and I bet it doesn't even hardly do anything to you because your body is so.
Last night I woke up.
And that's the point. That's what you want in the off-season because it's like throwing gas on a fire. All you're going to do is speed your metabolism up more. So, but with you adding around, once your carbs are that high, it doesn't matter where you add them. You just need to add them.
That's what I'm asking too. Like, as opposed to a starch, or would it matter?
No. It's just a number at the end of the day. If you eat your protein first, it doesn't matter if you eat a Pop-Tart or a sweet potato. If you eat protein first, it all becomes a slow digesting carb. I would just add to every one of your meals. It's a nice place to be. So, one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. One of the things you can do with reverse dieting isn't always right after a show. I've had to do it with 4 people. Kayleen's a perfect example. We started 6 weeks ago. She needed to get a little bit leaner, but calories were low enough, cardio was high enough. What we actually did to get her leaner is we actually reverse dieted to speed her metabolism up. I've had to do it with Leslie. We've had other folks, Don, who just competed, and their metabolism has slowed down. There's no room left to pull calories. There's no room left to add cardio. You can try, but it's just going to make it worse. The best thing you can do is just, especially if you're female, just add in 10 carbs a week and pull your cardio back just a little bit. That will let your body start to heal and your metabolism speed up, so you'll actually start burning fat. So I wouldn't be afraid to do that in the middle of prep if you need it. And usually people get a little bit tighter, so what do? You add in another 10 carbs or 20 carbs if you're a guy. And you cut your cardio back just a little bit. Just did it with Matt Holcomb from his show, 4 weeks. He was hardly doing cardio, but just a little bit once a day, and he was eating 20 grams more carbs each time, and he got leaner and leaner and leaner. Because your metabolism is the gas pedal for your fat loss. If it's stalled out, it's not going anywhere. But this will at least get it up and going again. So you just have to play with it and be creative. Other than that, I hope that you hold on to this, and this will help you after your show. This is the hardest thing to do. Dieting for a show is nothing compared to trying to, Russ, we were just talking, it is so much harder to stick to this because what do you have left? You have an off season and you can go out to eat with your family and friends. It's really hard to stick with this, but if you're strict for 6 to 8 weeks, if you go out to eat, just try and stay within your macros. Try and keep it, don't go out and binge. But if you stick to this, you're going to be set up so much better for your next show. Does anybody have any questions about the refeeds, about reverse dieting, or how much to add, or any of that?
When you add the fats, and you want to keep them always keep your fats away from your carbs?
No. What I try and do is around the pre-intra and post-workout, I have that lower fat. As long as you get your fats at your other meals, I actually like having fats with carb meals because it slows them down just a little bit. So.
Why would you want them?
Do what?
Why would you want them to slow down?
Because it actually helps steady out your blood sugar levels. Plus, they have to go somewhere. So the best place is away from the workout. So they're going to have to go somewhere. All right. Well, good luck. For those of you competing tomorrow, we'll see you backstage. If you need anything, my email is on here. Feel free to hit me up, answer anything that you guys have.
Hey, wait a minute, guys. I'm going to give you a little snippet.
Only if you want it. And you're tired, you've been sitting a long time. I was just going to show you 2 of those routines that I do for students.